Hey guys. Wow, y'all are here already. Look at that. Hi. Let's see. It looks like Gwen is here. I saw someone else. Oh, hey. Oh, I'm so glad you guys are here. All right, so it looks like you guys started. You started the did you guys start the 10-day? Oh, first of all, let me say hey because this is going to go up on the channel. Hey everyone, my name is LaDon. This is the No Light Naturally Me channel. And I'm gonna try to get through this time. Life has a way of happening, and anyway, I'm gonna get through this live stream because I promised you guys I was gonna do it. Um, to do a reflection on day one of our Daniel's fast and of our 10-day smoothie fast, and then also reading The Purpose Driven Life. So I promise to be the accountability partner for those of you who are reading The Purpose Driven Life along with me during the Daniel's fast and the 10-day smoothie fast. And so as promised, I will be doing my reflections on this in during this telecast. So really quickly, because I don't want this to be a super long live stream, I want to say that I hope you guys had a good first day. If you get a chance in the comment section, once this video goes live, if you could tell me how your day went, what your challenges were, and that sort of thing, I would love to know. And maybe we can share like some workarounds to help you to be successful or continue to be successful or overcome any challenges you may be experiencing while doing this. This is a lifestyle change for this cleanse. So it's going to take a minute. Don't be too hard on yourself. No one is perfect. We are all imperfect, and we are all doing the very best we can. We're all doing the very best we can. All right. So I'm just so impressed by you guys, and I want to congratulate you guys on just saying yes to doing something positive for your health and well-being and for your spiritual health and well-being. All right, so it sounds like some folks had a good day. Awesome. Amazing. So I'm just gonna kind of go into I'm keeping like a little diary or journal of today's activity. I'm so sorry. I'm a little bit emotional. I was about to do this, and it's so funny because sometimes when you are attempting to do something that is, good and positive, things can happen that kind of throw you off your your kilter. And sometimes I just feel like that's just the enemy's way of getting in the way of you doing what it is you're supposed to be doing. So I'm gonna push through this, y'all, but I'm having a moment, so pray for me. All right. Okay, so before I get started, also those of you who follow the Black Love and Travel IG that Eric and I have together, and of course some of you have seen him on the channel, please do wish him a happy birthday in the comment section below. Today is his birthday, so we want to make sure that he has a very special day. All right. Okay, let's see. So my reflections on day one of the smoothie and the Daniel's fast are as follows. So day one was like super challenging for me. Thanks for wishing him a happy birthday, Queen. I know he'll appreciate that. I'm not sure if he's going to see this, but in any event, I'll show it to him so that, he sees you guys comments beneath this video. So if you get a chance once it goes live, please do leave it in the comments once the video is live on the channel after this broadcast. Okay, so day one was a bit of a challenge for me personally because I was sick for a part of the day, and so I really didn't eat a whole lot the beginning of day one just because I told y'all all about that. I took that magnesium, and child, that story, it did not end well. So I didn't eat much, but when I did eat, I did keep it healthy. So I did have some fruit, and then I had part of that kale salad I shared with you guys from my Trader Joe haul yesterday. So I did eat that, and oh my goodness, that salad is so good. And I think we were talking about Gwen, actually. I think we were talking about that that salad was supposed to be a 3-serving salad, and I actually could only eat half of it. So, and I think it's because the kale is so, it's, you know, it's a heavier, thicker sort of green. And so I think it is more filling because of that. So kale is a good one to go for. You have good energy. Don't let the enemy distract you. Thank you, Gwen. Oh, y'all just don't know. Thank you. I try. I'm not a perfect person, but I try. And I'm not a person that tries to hurt other people. So thank you for that, my dear. I appreciate it. Okay, so kale, it is heavier. So it I think it's a good, filler for people who want kind of a heartier, salad and something more filling. So Gwen, yeah, that it wasn't 3 servings, but I would say it could be a 2-serving salad because it does have like a lot of other stuff in it along with the kale that's also filling. I didn't have any smoothies. So because I wasn't feeling well, I normally do my smoothies in the morning. So yesterday I did not do smoothies in the morning for that reason, because I wasn't feeling well, and I didn't do a smoothie in the evening. I thought I might have one in the evening, and it just did not happen. So I did not get my smoothies in yesterday, but I ate very well. I did, as I mentioned, had that salad. I will have a smoothie this evening. And I will drink more water, because one of the things I noticed yesterday was that I really didn't drink a lot of water. So I need to increase that probably by by like 40 ounces. So I have a ways to go when it comes to water. Today I was more intentional about drinking water, so I did better. This morning I didn't have smoothies either. That's why I'm going to have at least one smoothie this evening. But I woke up late this morning, and I had to be all the way in like the southern suburbs. I don't know, it was like a 35 or 40 mile drive. So, and I only had an hour to get ready. So I think what I may start doing is making some of my smoothies in the evening. So then in the morning, I could just take them and go. The one reason I'm a little hesitant to do that is because, you get more nutrients when you drink the smoothie closer to the time that you make it. So, but for convenience sake, I may consider making my smoothies in the evening sometimes. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, so overall, I did better. I need to prepare my smoothies a little bit more efficiently. And then I just need to definitely increase my water. So day 1 of the 10-day smoothie and Daniel's fast, it went pretty well. I wanted to share with you guys, because now I'm going to go into the purpose-driven life piece. But before I do that, I want to share with you guys some of the containers my daughter got. Pack the container and blend it in the morning. I do that. You know what I do? I use little, I could actually use these, but I tend to use lunch bags. I'll put in a lunch bag, everything in a lunch bag, and then I'll just dump it in the blender in the morning. But that still does take some prep at night. So yeah, I think I can do that, and I think that'll help me a lot. So thanks for mentioning that, that Gwen. I'm probably going to do that this evening. Hey, Yodi. Happy 2018 too. I'm glad you could join us, and I'm happy to see you for the first time this new year, girl. I wanted to just share with you guys some of the containers that Miora and I are using. She bought a set of containers, which I'll share with you. I'll probably do a review on them in the future. I just don't have any experience working with them right now, so I'm just going to show them to you. She purchased these on Amazon for us, and I think 15 come in a set. So these are the food containers, and then the other part I have is the lid. So you can kind of see the depth of this, and the size of the trays are pretty decent. So this is good for you food preppers, especially those of you who are doing the Daniel's fast. You can prep your meals and just take them with you. I think that's a really good idea because, you know, the better you prepare, the more successful you can be. And if you have food like on standby, you can just pull. It'll just make your Daniel's fast even that much more successful. And then these are the lids. And I will say that these lids actually fit pretty snugly on these. So I don't think these were that expensive, but I'll give you the details after we try them for a while and I'm actually able to give a review. But shipping, they shipped out really quickly and it's all good. The other thing that we have are these bowls. I purchased these probably 2 years ago. Yay, I have missed you all. Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you too, sweetie. Happy, so glad I finally got you live for the first time this year. I'm glad you made it too, girl. Welcome back and Happy New Year. Yeah, so I wanted to share these with you because I really like these bowls. I am doing OMAD. Hi, Michael. Hope that your day was awesome. It was. Thank you. What is OMAD? Oops. Hold on. Okay. I don't know what that is. OMAD. It's been a long time. Maybe a long day. Maybe I'm just not getting what that is. An acronym. Oh, 1 meal a day. Oh my gosh. Okay. You're going to have to keep us posted on how that is going. And then what do you do? Just like fluids or something like that? Just drinking a lot of stuff? Please let us know. I have these containers and these have helped me when I've done like the Daniel's fast and when I'm just trying to eat healthier and making sure that I'm taking like salads and things like that with me, like to travel with. And I purchased these containers from Costco probably 2 years ago, and I just like them because they have a variety of different sizes of containers, so I can use this one. Well, and the other thing I like is these. I think I just like these because it gives you something like to do. You feel like you snapping some stuff together. Girl, I already know. I was thinking about doing 1 meal a day. Oh my God. Yeah, that would be you know what? You guys, I used to eat 1 meal a day, like not even on purpose, because I've never been a person that had like a heavy appetite. But as I've gotten older, what I've learned is that it causes me to pack on the weight when I do 1 meal a day. So I cannot do it. I have to graze throughout the day to keep my metabolism going. You know, again, it's one of those challenges. Once you hit a certain age, that metabolism will have you struggling. It did. Yeah. See, that's what I think. I think for some, or at least for me, it did not help my metabolism. So yeah. But please do let us know how it's working out for you, because I guess depending on how you do it, it could really, be beneficial. It works. Okay. Good for you. Well, good luck. And keep us posted. Okay, so I purchased these. So I use the small one just for like dressing and stuff like that. Sometimes I'll put grapes in it. I like these because they're secure. I could throw them in my bag and they are very sturdy. So I just like these. And then they have different sizes. So I do like salads in this one. And sometimes I do my heavier salads where I'm putting like broccoli and cauliflower and all that kind of stuff. So I just like that they have a variety of different types of salad bowls. And then again, these are they are so sturdy. And then again, as I said, I like snapping these, and they fit like really kind of neatly together. The other thing I like is with this one, because sometimes I'll take like a huge salad or something like that with me, or I'll chop up a bunch of fruit and I'll put this in here, and sometimes I'll leave it at work in the refrigerator. And boy, these are getting beaten up because I've had them for so long. But it has like this tray in it, which I like, because then if I have stuff that I don't want to intermingle with whatever is on the bottom, I can just, put it in the tray and keep it that way. So it just helps to keep like vegetables crisp and stuff like that. So I really like these. So these I can highly recommend. The other ones I can't yet until I try them out. And I probably won't try those out until I move like really like after the next 10 days. once I'm not doing the smoothie thing anymore. Okay, so I will keep you guys posted. But yeah, these I highly recommend. It's an 18-piece set that you get, and I put the information below just so that you could check them out. You may be able to find them at the Costco near you. Otherwise, I think you can find them on Amazon, and I don't know if they have a website for this company, but yeah, it's called Snapware. Love these, love these. And this is actually good for prepping my smoothie ingredients as well. So anywho, that's that. I just wanted to share that with you in case you're looking for like containers and stuff like that, because again, for me, it is all about the preparation of, you know, and anticipating what my need is going to be so that I don't fail at this. I don't want to fail. Are you doing green smoothies or what? So I'm doing a combination. I'm doing the green smoothies during the day, and then I'm in the evening I am doing a meal. The meal may be a salad, or it may just be something else that is Daniel's fast consistent. So with Daniel's fast, it means that I'm not eating any refined sugars. I'm not eating any meat. I'm not eating any processed foods. Most of what I eat will probably be raw, vegetables, fruits. I may do different types of beans, that sort of thing. So that's what it's going to be. Okay. So that is it. I'm going to come back on day 2, which will be tomorrow, and I'll let you guys know how that goes. To me, I feel like the first few days, if you can stay on course, they go pretty well. But like it's like, you know, the 3rd, the 4th, the 5th, the 6th day, it could be really hard. This is the 2nd week of my 21-day fast. Today is day 3 of the juice, water, and tea. You go, girl. Wow. Wow. Go on, queen. Keep us posted. Like in the comments, can you guys share any tips that work for you while you're doing the fast? Like if it's prep, if it's certain type of teas that have helped you with your digestive, you know, process, any of those things. If, you know, you could share any of those tips in the information section below, I would greatly, greatly appreciate it. Because I'm going to definitely explore them. But I think like our community at large, and people who view this live stream in the future will definitely benefit from it as well. So let's share kind of, you know, what's worked well for us. Okay. All right. So now I'm going to get to day 1 of the Purpose Driven Life. And I started the first chapter. And I'm not sure how many of you guys are doing this as well, but when I do a fast, especially when I do the Daniel's fast, I do one for, you know, health and wellness, but I also do a spiritual sort of fast as well. And, you know, it always has challenges. Today I was challenged because I think I mentioned to you guys, I woke up late, and that can set you off and it can get you in an attitude or in a mood. And so I really kind of fought against that happening very successfully. And, you know, I was able to minimize my level of anxiety and, you know, not lashing out at others and, you know, just trying to be open and supportive and there, you know, for others and the people I work with. And I had a really great morning and I had a really great day. So I think reading The Purpose Driven Life, it just kind of helps me to kind of recenter, and I feel like it better equips me to deal with some of the challenges that, you know, we face in life, because you're just putting things in perspective. So the first chapter is all about reminding us that it all starts with God, and that, you know, it ain't about you. It never was. I have a friend who likes to say that, you know, we used to have book club meetings and, you know, he'd just be like, it ain't about you. That must be from a movie or something, but it is something to remember that sometimes we can get so wrapped up in our feelings and our, you know, anger and our disappointments and our joy. Sometimes it could be, you know, whatever, but we get so wrapped up in those emotions that we're not able to hear or process anything else. It's like nothing else really matters but my pain, my joy, my situation, my agenda, So I think that this is like a great way to kind of start the book with the recognition that it's not about you. So when you read the chapter, he talks about it. I'm not going to give away a lot from his chapters because I feel like he wrote this book. Obviously, he's made a lot of money on it, but this is his work. And so I don't want to be on here going into depth around each of the chapters because I feel like you all need to read. Everybody needs to read it because you're going to get something different out of it than I will based upon where I am. You know what I mean? So yeah. I am doing fruit, tea, vegetables, nuts. Yeah, that's what I had on the Daniel's fast also. Oh yeah, raw nuts come in handy for sure. For sure. If you go to like Trader Joe's, they have these little, because nuts can have a lot of calories. If you go there, they have these snack size containers of nuts, like all in one big bag, but they portion them out into smaller servings. So you can manage the calories better that way. So you should check those out. I think 12 come in a pack and they may be like, I don't know, $5 or $6 for the pack. So it has nuts and, raisins. So you're getting a lot, you're getting your omega-3s and you're getting lots of antioxidants and then, lots of other good stuff. So get that mix. They have a variety of different types of mixes at Trader Joe's of the nuts. But the ones that are pre-portioned, I think those are the super omega-3 or whatever, an antioxidant section. So check it out. All right. So at the end of the day, so how this book is set up is that you'll read the chapter and then at the end of the chapter, it will give you an assignment to like read for day one. So day one, or for each day for each chapter, which equates to each day. All right. So for day one, the question and the points he wants you to think about are, thinking about your purpose. The point to ponder is, it's not about me. It is not about me. It's not about me. That's a hard thing to ponder. And so when I thought about that, it made, for me, that resonates so much because what I realize is that when we take ourselves out of a variety of situations, whether it's conflict, whether it is someone else's sadness, whether it's someone else's joy, whether it's no matter what it is, if we take ourself, our stuff, our agenda, our anger or whatever out of it, and we actually connect with that person and listen to that person, then it sets us on a path to where we're able to better understand them and we're able to get to a place of resolution, right? So remembering that it isn't about you causes me to just think about the importance of not being self-centered, not being so stuck in my stuff that I'm not able to move forward and truly listen to and receive whatever is happening around me. I'm not able to hear any of that because I'm so wrapped up in me wanting to be happy or sad or angry or whatever it is. I hope this makes sense. But what I wrote down here was that it resonates because I recognize that the act of taking oneself out of the equation, our emotions, our agenda, our hurt, our insecurities, and our fears enables us to hear more clearly other things that are happening around us. Now, for the purposes of this book, he's trying to get us to this point, and he opens the book from helping us to understand that it's not about us, because that's like the first step to opening up ourselves to truly hear what God is trying to tell us about the purpose for our lives. So I think that was a great place to start. But yeah, when we step out of our emotions and our insecurities and fears and things of that nature, it really does allow us to more clearly hear everything else. So I loved that. So we're able to hear, one another, and we're able to hear God's voice more clearly. So I really like the point to ponder. So I'm not sure what you guys thought about that. Like, what does that say to you all? It's not about me. It's not about me. Like, if sometimes I think that our society is so self-centered that it's difficult for us to really think about stuff not revolving around us. It ain't about your pain. It's not about you being sad. It might not even be about your job. It's about the bigger picture. So, I don't know. That is, to me, a very profound thing to think about. Very profound statement. So the verse he wants you to remember, because usually there's a point to ponder, there's a biblical verse, and then there's a question to consider. We were created by God for God. Yes, ma'am, we surely were. We surely were. It's not about you. It's about God. Isn't that a song? It's not about us. It's about Jesus. Something like that. All right. So the verse he wants us to remember is, everything got started in him who finds its purpose in him. Everything got started by him and finds its purpose in him. So everything was started by God and finds its purpose in God. That is Colossians 1:16. All right. So that's the verse to remember. And it's exactly what someone just said, that we were created by God for God. That's right. God is the beginning. It all starts with God. Okay, so the question he wants you to consider is, in spite of all the advertising around me, how can I remind myself that life is really about living for God, not myself? In spite of, I feel like I'm doing a Bible study right now. All right, in spite of all the advertising around me, how can I remind myself that life is really about living for God, not myself? You can start a Bible study online. Really? I didn't know that. Wow. That's cool. That's cool. I like that. You're able to connect with lots of different people. I knew my purpose at 5. Wow, that's awesome. Yes, you can. Wow. That's amazing. That is amazing. One of the positive things I think about the internet, it allows people to connect across various barriers, and boundaries. People who are like-minded and, are on the same path together. Oh, absolutely. Oh, Happy New Year. Where have you been, MJ Gardner? Girl, I ain't seen you in I don't know how long. Happy New Year. I'm so glad you're here. All right, so let's get to this question. In spite of all the advertising around me, in spite of what the world says, how can I remind myself that life is really about living for God, not myself? When I first read this question, I was like stumped for a minute because, when I think about the second part of that question, how can I remind myself that life is really about living for God, not myself? Life is really about living for God, not myself. I was like, that's kind of hard. In spite of kind of everything that's happening in the world. Because again, we live in a society that is me focused. And so for me, when I started thinking about how to answer that question, I was like, it has to just be about habits. It's about creating new habits. So for me, it's about, the way that I would remind myself that life is really about living for God and not myself is through my self-talk. Right? The things that we say to ourselves about ourselves. So and it could be because you guys probably won't believe this, but I'm an introvert. So I'm in my head like constantly. I'm very comfortable just being in my head. So I think about things like a lot. And so I believe in the power of words. And I believe in the power of words, like things that people say to us. I believe that words are like spirits wrapped in sound. And so with your the tone of your voice, or even the words that you say to yourself about yourself, you have the ability to significantly impact your spirit and how you move through this world. So I really believe that like the first step for me would be taking control of my self-talk and being very intentional about saying to myself, you know, it's not about you. It's not about you. Which, okay, and that on some level can be easy to do on a regular basis, but where it's going to get tricky is when you have situations of conflict, right? When your flesh wants to take over, or the world is just life is throwing things at you. And it's so easy to fall into your own emotion of reacting to what someone is saying to you, or what someone is doing to you, or what an entity is saying or doing to you, or a position that you find yourself in. It's in those moments that it is so difficult to master that self-talk, right? To respond rather than to react, right? So I think that it's our nature as humans to be self-centered in some ways. And so when we're reacting, or when we're reactive, we're almost reacting from a space of me, preserving me, my feeling, my whatever, right? So in those times where we are challenged, it's about being, it's about being, oh my gosh, guys, you all don't know. You don't know. I just got, okay, I'm gonna move on. Just pray for me. Just pray for me. Because I'm like seeing stuff pop up on my screen that you guys can't see. And it's hurtful, but we're gonna move along. Because this is like a perfect for this conversation. So when things that are hurtful, you know, and they happen to us, it's our nature to respond out of our self stuff, rather than saying, okay, it's not about me. Let me focus on what this person is saying and hear them, for instance, and be able to hear them clearly, right? In the larger sense, it's about putting our own stuff aside and more clearly being able to hear God. Yes, we do, ma'am. It's so true. That's why you should know what's coming out of your mouth. Words can destroy and bless at the same time. Girl, yes, they can. Words have vibrations and meaning. Yes, you all are telling the truth on this on this live stream. Absolutely, absolutely. So it's mastering that self-talk, especially when we find ourselves in the midst of a battle. And remembering it's not about me. It's not about me. It's not about me. You know, so continuing that dialogue, it's not about me. I think that's a way to continually remind myself that life is really about living for God and not myself. So doing that, then also something that's called mindfulness. I work with youth, and when I was working with really, really small youth, I used to have to try to keep them quiet. Because at one point I was teaching them coding, and it really required that they focus. And a lot of times with one particular group of kids I had, they would come in and they would just be all over the place, all over the place emotionally. And so I came up with this slogan like, don't wake the sleeping lions. Don't wake the sleeping lions. So when they came to my classroom, and I would meet them in the hallway, and I would say, there are lions sleeping in our classroom. We cannot wake them. We cannot wake them, okay? Who's afraid of lions? They were, I'm afraid of lions. I don't like lions. Okay, so when we go in the classroom, we have to be careful not to wake them. So, it would be about using their imaginations, like they would pretend the lions were there and they were sleeping. And so they would come in, they would literally tiptoe in the classroom, right? And then everything they did, like they spoke in a softer tone, and they weren't disruptive because mentally, they kept in mind that there were sleeping lions and they didn't want to wake them. So I say all that to say, mindfulness kind of allows us to, when we're thinking with a state of mind, like, I don't want to wake the lions, and that governs your behavior in other areas. You're not going to speak loud. You're not going to be distracting. You're not, you're going to be able to focus. You're going to be able to accomplish the things that you want to accomplish, right? Or that we needed to accomplish in that class. So I'm just thinking about mindfulness as it centers around thinking it's not about me, and reminding ourselves that life is really about living for God and not ourselves. So again, I think it's about being intentional, kind of like at the beginning of our day, for instance. So if I wake up and I'm reminding myself that, okay, on this day, I want, the first thing I want to think about and, focus on is that it's not about me. It's about living for God today. So whatever comes my way today, I have to embrace it from the perspective of, it's about living for God. So how I respond to those situations, how I govern myself, the decisions I make, words I speak, my acts, they all have to align with that recognition. It's not about me, and I'm living for God, not myself, right? So being intentional at the beginning of the day, I think, is a great way to do it. And one of the things that I used to do, and I didn't even relate it to this book. I was doing this because there was a time where I was doing purpose-driven work. And so everything I did was like centered around God, and like praying for, on every decision and that kind of thing. And so one of the things that I did, I had read an article about Benjamin Franklin, and it said at the beginning of his day, he would write down, or he would say to himself, what good shall I do on this day? And then he would think about, and he would look for opportunities to align with that question, or to be able to answer that question. Then at the end of the day, he would say to himself, what good did I do on this day? So good could mean anything. I think in this article for him, it was like task driven. He was trying to be really productive with his day. So good was like, how can I make this day meaningful, and get things accomplished? And then at the end of the day, well, what did I accomplish this day? So, but for me, based upon where I was when I read that article, it was so much about you have to send the devil back in the spirit, release him from the correction, release them for correction to thee. That's right. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's a good one, Gwen. So for me, and being mindful at the time when I was thinking about, what good shall I do on this day? It was more like, what good can I do for others? How can I serve the greater good? So for me, that kind of thinking helps me to remember that my life is really about living for God, not myself, because it's just another way of me being less self-centered and more outwardly centered, right? And being open to my purpose for God. How does God want me to respond to this situation and to this, this purpose? How am I fulfilling whatever purpose He has for me, on that day, or through that interaction, or whatever the situation may be. So at the beginning of the day, I would say, what good shall I do on this day? And then at the end of the day, I would ask myself, what good did I do on this day? And that really, that kind of mindfulness helped me to stay on track with, again, being open to God. Did I listen to what he told me he wanted me to do during the course of that day? because sometimes situations may arise. You guys may have had situations like that where different situations arise, and then you have a guttural response to it, but you like God tells you to do something else, and you might even struggle with doing something else, but you do it anyway, right? You do what He wants you because you were open to kind of hear that. So I would write those things down, and that helped to remind me through action that it's not about me. It's about what God wants me to do. It's about what good can I do in the kingdom of God on this day. And so that's one of the ways for myself that I can keep reminding myself, starting my day with that intention and then ending my day with a reflection. What did I do? And thinking about what challenged me, what caused me to be inwardly focused, or to be selfish. Were there situations where I was so caught up in my stuff that I couldn't hear other people, or that I couldn't hear Him, and I didn't respond in a way that would be pleasing to Him, right? So, and I would do that each day, and then that would help me for the next day. Like if I recognize that I fell short in one area, then I could be aware of that, and respond in a more positive way next time, hopefully, when the situation, arose. So yeah. So that's my answer. Just, in spite of all the advertising around me, how can I remind myself that life is really about living for God, not myself? And for me, it is mindfulness. It is reminding myself that it ain't about me. It ain't about me. And focusing on, how can I please God on that day? What good can I do on that day? And the funny thing about that was I even started doing Facebook posts. At the beginning of the day, I would put, what good shall I do on this day? And I'm reading it like that. And then at the end of the day, what good did I do on this day? And there were people who were reading it like, oh my goodness. They were reading it like, what good did I do on this day? I didn't do nothing good, like that. And so I had people writing me like, sis, are you depressed? That kind of thing, because they were reading it in a whole different tone than I was actually typing it. But when I typed it, I actually shared it with other people because I wanted them to think about, what good can you do on this day? What good can you do? What good did you do on this day? Was it all just for you? Or, did you help someone else? Did you lighten their load? Did you focus on, serving the greater good, or helping, someone else who was in need, or offering a kind word, or, doing something for others that offered no benefit, to yourself? So that's why I was writing it, but it didn't come across that way, so they didn't get it anyway. Anywho, that's it. That's my day one reflection. What about you guys? I would love to see in the comments once this goes live, or you can come on over to the community page on the No Lie Naturally Me YouTube channel. Like if you click on my channel page and it takes you to the main page, you'll see at the top there's a tab that says communities. You can click there, and I'm actually going to post for day one over there. And if you like, you can share with me how things went on the Daniel's fast and the smoothie fast. And you can also share how day one of reading The Purpose-Driven Life, your reflections on those questions. You can share your thoughts on that as well. All right. I feel so much better talking with you guys. I really do. I really do. I had a situation, without going into too much detail, where someone was hurt by something that they felt I should have done that I didn't do. And I did all these other things for them, but it didn't matter the things that I did for them. They are very hurt by the thing I didn't do. Right. Which, I mean, there was a reason I didn't do it. And so they're just very angry at me. And on one hand, I kind of feel like, but what about all this great stuff I did? Doesn't that mean anything? It doesn't seem like it means anything. It just means ungrateful. I don't even want to say that, because here's the thing. I don't want to. I think it would be easy for me to feel like that it's a representation of being ungrateful. But again, just going back to this, that's why this reading is so relevant, because it's like sometimes you get so stuck in your hurt about something that you just want to lash out about that one thing, even though 5 other things were done. You want to lash out about the one thing. And I think it's just representative of, sometimes again, we get so so focused that we don't even recognize that, wow, this person did all of this, these things for me. And why am I complaining about this one thing when I had all these other blessings? It's just, I don't know. It's kind of timely and in alignment with kind of what I'm reading. So, and it also caused me to think about, I went to this conference with our church. We do, an annual conference every year. And I went to a workshop, and I don't remember what the title was. I'm actually going to ask the pastor. It was a pastor and his wife. So they're actually both ministers. They weren't ministers of the church, but they were within the church body. And they did a segment on, when you ask the Creator for something and he gives you something else, do you get mad? Woo, child! Gwen said, when you ask for something from God, when you ask the Creator for something and he gives you something else, do you get mad at the Creator? I don't. I don't personally. Shoot, I'm like, okay, well, I didn't need that. And I'm grateful for what I have. Which church are you from? I am from Faith Center in Trinidad. You know what? The denomination I'm a part of is the AME Zion Church. So that's African Methodist Episcopal. African Methodist Episcopal Zion Church. And so we do this youth conference. So anyway, at one of the workshops, it was the last workshop I attended. I was there for like a week, I think, or almost a week. And they did a session, and I don't know if it was on dealing with conflict or reconciliation or what it was, but they were like giving, I think they gave like 7 steps to whatever was associated with their topic. And the one thing that has stuck with me and that really resonated with me was this point. They said, when there is conflict, seek to understand and then to be understood. Seek to understand and then to be understood, right? So that means when you have a situation where there's conflict, first of all, the first step in that goes back to this book. It's not about me. In order for you to seek to understand like another person's perspective, that means you have to step out of your feelings. You have to recognize it ain't about you, right? So you have to have that selflessness. And so you have to put all of your, your preconceived notion, your anger, your resentment, your disappointment, your whatever it is to the side. And you have to clearly, it's like you have to have a clean slate, and you have to hear them. And you have to be really clear about hearing them. Not just not talking and waiting for them to finish. Not just going on and, being wrapped up in your hurt. But putting all that aside and creating a space for people to genuinely hear what someone is telling you, what they're expressing. And a lot of times people don't want to do that. Hey, sweetie, I think it's okay to get mad with God or maybe upset because he knows our hearts hurt sometimes because we are not sure of the outcome, not the perfect side of us. Absolutely, we are imperfect. Absolutely, we're imperfect. I'm glad you shared that. Thank you for sharing that. So seeking to understand means we're putting all that aside. We're recognizing it ain't about us. We're opening the door for that other person to share. So I think that's one of the reasons it's so powerful. What they said was so powerful, because if you seek to understand and then you begin to communicate, you are trying to be understood. So you're sharing what's going on with you. If that other person is doing the same thing, they're recognizing it's not about them, and they're clearly hearing your perspective or understanding your hurt or your whatever it is, that perspective, whatever it is, then you're able to get to a place where you both have new information. So you're able to build toward reconciliation, or agreeing, or agreeing to disagree. You can build from that place. But if you're not recognizing that it ain't about you, if you're not making space for that, you'll never get to reconciliation, because you're constantly just wrapped up in your stuff. So what's going to happen is you're going to talk and you're going to express your hurt. Then you're going to stop talking and you just going to let the other person talk. You ain't listening. You still wrapped up in over here. You just waiting for them to finish so you can continue talking about your stuff. And so then you get in that cycle where you're just going around and around and around, spinning your wheels, and you're not building toward reconciliation. If I have hurt you, right, and I don't think you should be hurt, right, but I'm recognizing it's not about me. So I'm listening to your hurt and I'm understanding why it is you're hurt, right? And then I share with you what happened on my end, that it wasn't my intention to hurt or whatever it is, right? Then you have new information. I have new information. So then that first conversation shouldn't still be going around, because now I know why you were hurt. You were hurt because maybe this meant something to you. And so you acknowledge that. I understand that meant something to you, and it wasn't my intention not, to do whatever. I don't know. Right. And so then you're having a different conversation that is being built toward reconciliation. So that's why I love this book, because where he chose to start out in this book is really the core to so many things in life. It is not only the core to us being open, and acknowledging our creator, but it is the first step truly to us being in relationship with one another and understanding one another, and being able to demonstrate civility, and calm and peace with one another. So I just went all over the place, and this is 52 minutes. I said this was not going to be this long. Anywho, thank you guys for letting me ramble. But I would love to know what this concept meant to you. Even in how you might apply it to your life. It's not about you. How do you remind yourself of that daily? I would love, 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 love to know. All right, guys. Thank you for tell them that Jesus is on the main line. Call him up and tell him what you want. Oh my goodness. Oh, you crazy. That's a good one. All right, girl. I certainly will. Bye. I pray you have a blessed night. Thank you, Queen. I pray you all have a blessed night, and a peaceful one, and that you have a great and successful tomorrow. All right. So I will see you tomorrow, and we'll go over day 2, and hopefully it won't be this long, but I look forward to seeing you guys. Talk to you soon. Thank you for your support. All right. Bye.